Good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Just got back from the park with my son, riding his bike, jumping, running, climbing, playing in the dirt, picked my daughter up from school. It's been a beautiful day, people. A beautiful day. Now, another thing that was beautiful, and I will put the link in the description box, was yesterday was the 70-something annual Golden Globe Awards, right? Basically another reason for all these perverts to get into a room and have a verbal orgy with each other and tell them how great they are and pat each other on the back and pat each other in other places too, I'm sure. But what was good about this one was Ricky Gervais. And I don't know if you know who that is. British dude, actor / comedian. Man, he fucked that whole room up. He got in that ass like a bike with no seat. He said, I don't know if there's any truth to this, whether he was joking or not, but he said, I'm not doing this anymore. This is the fifth time I've hosted these awards. I'm done with it. He's like, so I don't give a fuck. I don't care anymore. I'm going to say whatever I want. And he let them all have it. He talked about how they're so fucking woke, but you work for companies that run sweatshops. He's talking about Apple. And I like that he said that because not only is it these elitist Hollywood weirdo motherfuckers that tell us what we need to be doing while they're doing what they say we're not supposed to be doing to a level we could never achieve. Like when they tell us we need to go green, we need less cars on the road, yet you fly in a private jet that puts out more carbon than my little car does in 2 fucking years. Stuff like that. But also the regular everyday people who tell you, oh, I know people who are on Instagram, oh, we hike and we do this and we're all about nature and I'm a vegan, I don't like to kill animals and shit or whatever. But you're posting these pictures on your iPhone or your laptop, which is made by companies that run sweatshops and treat their employees inhumanely. Now, I'm not sitting here saying, oh, we shouldn't do that and, we should only buy... Look, I get my shit the same place everybody else gets it. We all got a little sweatshop, little child labor in our fucking closet, don't we? The difference is I don't sit up there and tell people they shouldn't do the very same thing that I'm doing. We get our shit where we get our shit. It's produced how it's produced. That's the way it is. But we don't say shit. But as soon as you get up there and try to act like you're better than me and you're doing even worse, fuck you. And he told him, another one of my favorite things he told him is he said, you don't know real life. You are in no position to lecture the public. You're disconnected. You showed up here in limousines. He's like, you motherfuckers are rich. He said, get up here, accept your award, thank your agent and your God, and fuck off. That was his quote. Fuck off. Man. He fucking tore into all those people. He said, he talked about that shitty movie, Cats. I don't know who the fuck watched that, but he's talking about how that shit bombed. Man, the reason it was so good is because he got everybody. He didn't just pick out one particular person or one particular genre of movie. He let everybody have it. That's why shows like South Park and shit are so successful and have been around for 20 some years. Because they don't pick a side, they don't pick a person, they let everybody have it, whether they think like they do or not. That shit was beautiful. Like I said, it will be in the description box. Check that shit out. And I'm sure these fucking dummies have heard this, on Twitter, other social media, maybe even be in places and people yell shit at them. But sometimes it's not what you need to hear, it's who you need to hear it from. And to have one of their own stand up there and they're all in a room and this dude has a microphone and he tells them what a piece of shit they are, that shit was beautiful. And no, it's not going to change them. It probably made them even stupider and even more steadfast in their dumb fucking beliefs. But still, it was good to have someone sit there in their face and tell them what fuck ups they are. That shit was beautiful. Now, as far as what's going on in Iraq, now they're saying the parliament has voted and they want to expel U.S. troops. But the only person who can actually do that is the prime minister. Their prime minister, he stepped down a couple weeks ago amid a lot of protests and shit. It was getting violent. So he stepped down. So there is no prime minister. I don't know if they have someone who's, filling in the spot until they have an actual prime minister. But he is the only one who can say, U.S. troops, get the fuck out of here. Now, Trump told him, he said, if you kick our troops out and you don't pay us back for the money we spent here, we're going to level sanctions on you worse than Iran. And that's pretty fucking bad. But I have no problem. I don't think Trump even has a problem with pulling the troops out. You just pay your fucking tab. All right? We spent billions of dollars propping up your infrastructure, putting military bases in there to protect your ass. So if you're not going to pay your bill and you kick us out, there will be consequences and repercussions. But I don't have a fucking problem with that. Please take our fucking troops out of there. Every war we've had over there has been a fucking mess. From the first Gulf War, after we destroyed those motherfuckers in 3 weeks, I remember being a kid. I was in like 5th grade. And I remember sometimes the teacher would bring in a TV and we would watch news coverage on the war, on the Gulf War. And I remember having this magazine, and my mom, I think, was it? Yeah, it used to be this magazine called 321 Contact. And it was like the science magazine, but they had, I believe it was this magazine, but it was, anyway, it was a magazine that I had, and it had this like fold out page where it showed you how many troops we have versus how many troops they have, and how many tanks we have and airplanes we have versus them. Because it was Army versus Army, right? Armed forces versus armed forces. And we wiped them out in every category. We had more tanks, more planes, more people. Our shit was more technologically advanced. But every war, and even that one, we fucked them up, and then we come in and rebuild everything. Like, oh my bad, we were just testing out our weapons, basically. And then the second, Afghanistan, Iraq in 2003, all that shit's fucked up. We get stuck there, we spend all this money, we lose all these fucking lives, nothing changes. These people are operating on a different level. And I was talking to my brother today, and since he's been in Africa, he's been over there for years. He's been East Africa, West Africa, Central Africa, North, South. He's been all over the place. And I asked him, I said, what are some of the good things that Americans do? Because all we hear is the bad. All we see is the footage of, an American bomb hit here, and it's some crying mother holding her dead child with dust and blood all over their face. I said, what are some of the good things that we do over there? And we do a lot of infrastructure work. We build schools. We provide security. We do a lot of good things. We make a lot of people's lives better. But at what expense? Is the juice worth the squeeze? And if they don't want us there, then let's get the fuck out. Bye. Because we're not making a difference anyway. These people are fighting over religion and ethnicity, things that democracy is not going to help. And another good point my brother had was that we sometimes only think of democracy as voting. And it's more than that. Democracy also comes along with rights and privileges, like our Constitution, things that are inalienable and you can't take away. Our society is different than theirs. Democracy is more than just casting a vote. And we can't give that to people. Our version, it's not a one-size-fits-all democracy. They don't see it that way because, like I said, it's based off other things. It's based off ethnicity and religion. Different religions from ours, not Christianity and Catholicism. This shit is different. This shit goes back way before our country was even a scratch in their daddy's pants. An itch in their daddy's pants. Way before that. So it's nothing we can fix. And we're there. Look at us. We've been there. Really, we've been there since 1989, 1990. What the fuck has changed? Nothing. So doing the same thing, expecting a different result, is the definition of insanity. So get the fuck out of there. Don't wait for the prime minister to okay it. Obviously, enough of their leadership doesn't want us to be there. Let's get the fuck out. And we hear about things, also another point my brother was making. We hear about other countries where, you know, a dictator, there's a guy opposing him, so he has him killed, or he fires him, so he stays in power indefinitely. We have the same fucking thing here. Look at these senators and these congressmen. There's no term limits. These fat, rich, old motherfuckers have been in there for 40 years or more. Look at Maxine Waters' tired ass, Aunt Pearl. She's been in office since 1991. What the fuck? You've had the same job since the last fucking century and you haven't done shit? It's in human nature. You get complacent. You get comfortable. And especially since you're in bed with these fucking companies, all these corporations who finance your path to your seat at the fucking trough of taxpayer money. We have that same fucking corruption here. And it doesn't equate to people being mowed down that protest them, or headless bodies being found on a roadside ditch. But it does play out in these fuckers staying in office and implementing things that we don't want. They don't live like us, so they don't see or understand the consequences of their fucking policies. When it comes to immigration and all other types of shit. They don't see how that shit plays out. They vote on some shit that makes them feel fucking good and virtuous, and we're left to pick up the fucking pieces. But I don't know how this is going to play out. Iran is saying on every level, yeah, people, what's his name? Fucking the exalted ruler of Iran. Not Gaddafi, his ass is gone. But the other, whatever, Ayatollah Khomeini, that fucker. Him, the daughter of General Salami, saying that we're going to die, death to America. They're chanting death to America on the floor of their parliament. The crowd's death to America. Fuck America. Your parents will await the death of their daughters and sons and all this shit. So they're threatening us. All right. Trump said, we already have targets picked out. If you fuck around, you know what's going to happen. You will be droned. You will be droned. And I don't want it to come to that. I don't think this is going to be World War III like all these dumb fucks are jumping to the conclusion. Somebody tagged me in something that fucking Sean King said. Fucking, what do they call him? Talcum X? ML. I always said, I've never heard anybody else say this shit. So if you did, they stole it from me. But I've said that motherfucker wants to be MLK, but really he's just MILK. Fuck him. But he's talking about this was an act of terrorism and how dare America. Then you got Colin Kaepernick, that washed up, used to be good football player, that puppet for China. You got that dumbass talking about, America always harming black and brown people around the world to further their American imperialism. Really? Did you have a problem with American imperialism when you cashed those checks from Nike? Or you cashed those checks from the NFL? You fucking hypocritical, talentless piece of shit. You need to get that hummus-eating bitch out of your ear and get your life back on track. But since America's so horrible, and we're ejaculating our unwanted imperialism on the faces of the world, then why don't you go over there and help them? Go help them, Cap. Put on your fucking Kunta Kinte t-shirt, pick out your afro, and take your bitch ass over there and help those black and brown people. You fucking traitor. Fuck you. But I don't see your ass leaving this imperialistic fucking country. I don't see you picking up and moving anywhere else, talking all that shit. But we'll see what happens. They say shit's coming down the pipe, so we'll find out. We'll deal with it when they give it to us. But nobody wants to see this shit. Nobody wants to see people fucking killed. But if you're killing our people and harming our interests, what the fuck are we supposed to do? I'll tell you what we're supposed to do. We either go all in or we take the Iraqi parliament's advice and get the fuck out. Let them handle themselves. And don't come fucking crying back to Daddy America when shit gets out of control, when the wrong brand of Muslim takes over, when a new fucking dictator comes in and starts chopping heads off. Don't call us. And don't allow CNN cameras in there to show the carnage, because these same motherfuckers talking about America's overstepping their boundaries, they'll be the first ones crying for America. How can you let this happen? America's so powerful. We have the means to stop this in one day, and we're not doing anything. Make up your mind. Like the old saying goes, you can't have your cake and fuck it too. Right? And I've always been for that. Even as, like I said, as a kid following the first Gulf War, I've never understood what fucking leave them? Why are we even over there? Because Iraq invaded Kuwait? Look, I know there's people who watch my videos who fought in the first Gulf War. But I'm going to be completely honest. I don't give a fuck that Iraq invaded Kuwait. Kuwait needs to fight Iraq and push them out of their country. That's not our fucking problem. If you're not hurting us specifically, I don't give a fuck. That's your problem. You ever see any countries over here helping us? When we have a natural disaster, you see these other countries sending dogs over here to sniff through the wreckage to find the cadavers? Huh? I don't see any foreign planes in the sky helping us with these fucking wildfires. I don't see that shit. When a tornado rips through the Midwest and picks up a whole town and shakes it like a fucking snow globe, I don't see your firemen here helping to rebuild shit. I don't see your volunteers with the Red Cross giving people a place to stay and food and water and collecting toys for the children who lost all their shit. I don't see that. So it's time for us to worry about our own. Fuck the world. We need to worry about our own American interests, and that should be the American people. You need to, pull those troops from Iraq and everywhere else around the world, Afghanistan, Africa, Korea, I don't know. Pull those fucking troops here and send them to Washington and start marching these fucking corrupt politicians out. Why don't we vote on that? Term limits. The president gets term limits. You get 2 4-year shots. That's it. Why the fuck we let these senators and governors and congressmen and women who affect our lives much more than the president, why do we let these fat, lazy fucks stay in there and get rich? You go into being a congressman, you got $50,000 saved up. You come out the other side a fucking millionaire. Or if you do it really right, if you're really corrupt, you come out a fucking billionaire. Man, fuck you corrupt politicians. Fuck you all. You need term limits. You still work for us, stupid. Remember? Man, let me get back in here. It's almost dinner time, people. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell, because every time it rings, a piece of shit liberal cries. Utilize the PayPal link and the Teespring link to get your green gear. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.